rotate you to a couple other locations in the room. I'm going to show you the back wall first, where I have another, this is a smaller video wall. And here you notice that I have the front of the room's video wall also on this video wall. I have, I'm a little scared of using your annotation. I'm not sure if I can turn it off. Let's give it a try. I have placed the video wall on this back wall along with another resource across the entirety and another window here. Now let's see if I turn that off, will it stop doing that? Nope, it's still there. Let's see if I can turn off annotation. Clear. All drawings. Yes, there it is. All right, good. Learning quickly. That was a good bio. I appreciate the introduction. Apparently, I'm also able to understand simple things like annotation. So here I am. I'm looking at the video. Well, let's look at how we manifest that on the interface here. I have a variety of different displays. These can be in the same room or across the world, right? So I have this really nice kind of simple methodology to understand the different resources that I want to be able to control. And here is the video wall you're looking at. So you have what we call in the AV space confidence monitoring, both on the input side. I can see all of these different resources. This one's coming from Dubai. I have all of these different resources, and I can take any resource and I can place it in any window. I can create different window layouts. I have full flexibility on how I want to configure the system. I can scale anything to any size. And if the video wall that I'm looking at changes, if the video wall that I'm looking at from the other location, if that were to change in that other location, it would change. It would proliferate or be distributed everywhere that you see it. So if I switch it to a different layout, that busier room, that high activity room or that high activity desk will change everywhere I have this visual thumbnail. And what do we have on this visual thumbnail? This visual thumbnail is effectively just one more stream. So instead of having to send all of the constituent resources, all of the little separate individual windows of different users, applications or desks or websites, instead of having to send all of that as individual streams, I'm compositing the whole video wall so that it can be available anywhere. You don't need a high-powered processor like the one you're looking at driving the video wall. I can do the same thing. If I rotate my camera, I can do the same thing on any desk display or any other mobile device, for example. So here I rotated my screen. I'm on the side wall, and you can see that I have a bunch of Dell displays on the left-hand side over here. And these Dell displays are showing another resource. And if I wanted to take, once again, the video wall, I have the Dells grouped right over here. And I could take the entire resource or any one resource, and I can take that and drop it on, I'll put it on the group instead of on one at a time, and change all of these. These can all live anywhere across your network. So these could be at your home. These could be at your desk. These could be in the room. These could be at a sister organization, a relevant other first responder. These could be anywhere. And again, everything, more is more in RGB's parlance. The more locations, the more destinations, the more resources that you'd like to be able to share across your agency or interagency, it can all be done incrementally. We don't have to design for where you ultimately grow to. We can start very, very small in your system. Now, I want to look at these two displays that you have here. I know time is short here, and I want to get a bit into the displays in the middle. You can see that on the right display, which I'll zoom into, on that display, I'm doing the exact same thing as I was doing on the video wall. Here's that display. I have 3 windows, and on one of those windows, I put the other locations, high activity rooms. So I put the video wall that we started out in the front of the room, right? So again, if I change that video wall to something else, it'll change everywhere that thumbnail lives, including in the window on this decoder. This is a 4-stream decoder. So I could put 4 things, including the video wall, on this one. And what's interesting here is that if I were to zoom out, again, same basic concept. If I want to see any resource larger or different, I just scale it up, and then you see it become larger or different. So this kind of scaling is what RGB is known for. It's what we do in the military. We do a huge amount of military programs on vehicle, on vessel, and at bases. So we have a robust pedigree in both military and public safety environments. But we're focusing now. A lot of those are video wall environments, big, large multi-window viewing environments. But on ships and vessels and aircraft, it tends to be this kind of high compression video distribution with recording. So we've been doing this a long time. We know how to do this. We know how to do scaling very, very well. We know how to do really, really pristine image quality over bandwidth constrained networks for better workflows and better sharing. And what we're really focused on these days, and what I've turned my attention to almost exclusively, is improving the workflow at complex desks. We're actually finding that while video wall rooms, RTICs, DOCs, Homeland Security units, larger dispatch PSAPs that have video walls, while those are still a big part of our business, our customers have come back and said, we really need this at our desk. And while we've always been involved in helping the workflow at the desk, it's always been through the lens of the video wall. And now a lot of rooms don't have video walls, but they have complex desks. And that's true for public safety, that's true in dispatch, it's true in oil and gas, it's true in process control. So there's some similarity, there's some vertical markets that share not the same types of resources, but the same types of problems, which are the number of desks in the room are growing, these complex consoles, your Evans consoles, or your Adaptaspace, or your Russ Bassett, or your Winstead, whatever you're using in your operation rooms, the city is growing, the needs are growing, the resources that you need to be able to preview and control are changing, they're evolving, they're diversifying, but the room may be staying the same size, and you're trying to improve the workflow and maybe add additional operators or dispatchers to the workflow in a room that may not be growing in size. City's growing, room is not. Basic kind of RGB solution, just based on geographic space, we are going to save some space. So if I come back out, even though these are 60-inch monitors that you're looking at on the wall, you don't really have a sense of scale. So I'll spin a little story here. I'm gonna zoom out to look at the two of them together, and I'd like you to imagine with me that they are rather than 60-inch monitors. Let's assume there's something a little more manageable for a desk. These are sitting on your desk now instead of having 6 or 8 monitors at your desk, where each monitor would be, let's say you have a 23-inch monitor. Well, if each of these is replacing a 23-inch monitor, then this display is a 46-inch display. That would be pixel for pixel, be the same pixel space, and it would be the same size. You just wouldn't have so many arms holding the display at your desk. And we also provide integrated keyboard and mouse. So we have a product that we are that we've just released, and the product provides, much like the system in the room, a network approach to distributing your video, extremely low latency for keyboard and mouse control. And it has multi-windowing capabilities so that you can take your 6 or 8 dispatch monitors, your different displays at your dispatcher's desk, and you can replace those 6 or 8 with 2 larger format 4K displays that will give you all the same amount of information, but give you much greater flexibility to place the displays wherever you want them to be. So